The beast system. Something disturbing is happening. Small daily changes, seemingly harmless political decisions, technological advances that promise ease, but that, deep down, are preparing the ground for an unprecedented global system. The prophecy of a unified world government, capable of controlling the economy and people's lives, is closer than ever. What seemed impossible a few decades ago is now a reality, a system capable of deciding who can buy, sell, or even exist in the digital world, what can be said on social media. What would you do if, suddenly, your access to money and essential services were cut off? This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a warning. The prophecy is being fulfilled before our eyes. And the question that remains is, are you ready for what is to come? The path to total control. The digitalization of the economy is no longer a distant project. Central banks around the world are already testing their own digital currencies, known as CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. They are presented as modern solutions to facilitate transactions, combat fraud, and financially include more people. But there is one crucial detail that almost no one talks about: total control over your finances. If all money exists only in digital form and is controlled by a central bank, what will stop governments from freezing your account if your actions or opinions are not aligned with the norms established by the current government? This is already happening. In China, the social credit system is already restricting the lives of citizens who do not follow government guidelines. People with low scores cannot buy train or plane tickets, are denied access to certain services, and even face difficulties in finding employment. Now think, what happens when this model is adopted on a global scale? Imagine waking up one day and discovering that your money has been frozen because you expressed an opinion that is considered problematic or that could not be said. Sounds far-fetched? See what is already happening. Bank accounts being blocked for political reasons. Digital payments being declined due to guideline violations. Growing influence of global organizations on the economy and society. When Revelation 13 verses 16 and 17 mentions that no one will be able to buy or sell without a down payment, that doesn't seem so impossible anymore, does it? It's not just a fight for power, but the spiritual world acting on certain leaders, who think they are smarter than others. Subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end for a message that can change your life. Surveillance never sleeps. What once seemed like science fiction is already part of our daily lives. Virtual assistants that listen to everything, cameras that identify faces on the streets, algorithms that track every click and movement. Every action you take in the digital world is recorded and analyzed. The purchases you make, the places you frequent, the words you say. All of this creates a profile about you, and one day it can be used against you. What would happen if the world was controlled by a system that decided who could have access to food, housing, and transportation? Now combine that with a global social scoring system and an all-digital economy. The connection becomes clear. With each new technological upgrade, the web of control tightens a little bit more. And most people don't even notice. The signs are there, but who's watching? The Bible warned us about the events that would precede the end of time. Wars, pandemics, famines, natural disasters, mass deceptions. Now look at what's happening around us. Conflicts escalate between major nations. Food and resources become scarcer. Natural disasters increase in frequency and severity. Censorship of Christian and conservative voices grows every day. This was all prophesied millennia ago. But most people continue to ignore the signs. And there's more: rare astronomical events, eclipses, blood moons, just as the prophet Joel predicted. The sun will be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. Joel 2 verse 31. Coincidence? Or a warning that time is running out? In Luke 21 chapter 28, Jesus left us a clear instruction. When these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. The question is, are you paying attention? The persecution has already begun. Have you noticed how speaking about God and the truth of the Bible has become increasingly unacceptable? Christians are being censored, ridiculed, and even persecuted in various parts of the world. Churches are being closed, pastors are being arrested, Christian content is being removed from the internet. Jesus himself warned us. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. John 15 verse 20. And what are we seeing? Criminalization of Christian values. Growing intolerance against those who defend biblical truth. Laws being created to silence faith. But this should not scare us. On the contrary. Jesus has already warned us that this would happen. In Matthew 5 verses 11 and 12, he encourages us. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for great is your reward in heaven. So the question is not whether persecution will increase. The question is, are you ready to stand firm? The moment of choice is coming. What was once just theory is already becoming reality. A global system of control is being built. And soon, everyone will have to make a choice. Will you be on the side of those who follow the system, being manipulated by evil people, or on the side of those who resist and trust in God? Because they used the system and technology against you and your family. The most important decision in your life is not financial, political, or professional. The most important decision is spiritual. Because when everything around you collapses, only those who are firm in Christ will remain standing. So what? Are you ready for what is coming? If you liked this video, help us by subscribing to the channel, liking and sharing. And remember, each day is a new opportunity to call on the name of the Lord. Until next time.